Good morning, guys. Pawpaw here. You know, I'm always teasing Jake about being scared, and that's why he don't close gates. He's scared. He's scared. He's scared something's behind him. He's coming out of his woods at night, and he's scared something right here. So he just goes right on through that gate. I just pick on him. He closes the gates most of the time. But in saying that, I was thinking about some things this morning. Actually, I was having my coffee and watching a little old thing on TV, and it brought back a couple of memories. The unexplained. There's some programs on TV about the unexplained. And it does about being scared and things that are scaring you, but you can't explain them. All of y'all have probably been there at one point, something was scared you or had scared you, but you wasn't really for sure. Oh, Lord. I do not need you people coming for this story, okay? No, ma'am. You can't even come back here and tell a story without this kind of interference. Yeah, go on. Thank you. But that brought back some memories. I remember as a high school student, senior in high school. When you're at that age, you're not really afraid of nothing. Nothing can hurt you. My grandpa that I hung out with a lot was getting elderly, and he was growing up was a big hunter. And I've probably told some of y'all the story before, but some of you new folks haven't heard it. It's a true story. All my stories are true. I'm going to tell. I'm going to make up a story for you. I got too much to do. Too much to do. But he asked me one day, it was winter time, I was a senior in high school. He says, "You think your mom would let you take off from school one day and take me up to my old home where you growed up, my old home place, and so I could maybe deer hunt one more time?" Well, I love that old man, and my heart just went out because he wanted to hunt one more time. He like I said, he's getting elderly. And I said, "Paul, Mom will let me, because they ain't gonna miss me at school." They ain't gonna miss me. But anyway, so I did. I took off one day, and he and I got my old shotgun out, cleaned it all up, and he got his out, and I went by my old car and picked him up, and away we went. Early, still dark. And I told y'all this before, but I had to get there early enough to have breakfast with him. They had made the best breakfast there ever was. My grandma, we called her Ma, cooked on this old wood burning cook stove. And they got up way before the chickens. They got up way before chickens even thought about waking up. And built her old fire down the stove and started cooking. She'd cook a big breakfast. Even when it was just those two there, a big breakfast. I'm getting off my story a little bit, but anyway, so I was able to get, a couple of biscuits and a couple of big old pieces of bacon and ham, and away we went. But anyway, we get up there in this way back in the deep woods, and I'm telling the story. I'm serious. Y'all have got to leave me alone. You got to leave Pawpaw alone when I'm telling the story. Lord, here they all come. All right, just back up and listen. I don't care. Please. I don't know, guys. I'm serious. I apologize. There was nobody in sight when I come back here and stopped, and evidently somebody saw me, or maybe they smelled me. We smell Pawpaw. Hi, baby. Oh, that's right. They wanted a good kiss. Now I got to slobber all over the front of my camera. Anyway, went up there, went up in the back, deep woods, and he knew that old area because he grew up there, and hunted all of his life there. And he said, go down this old road here. And it was a dim, kind of road up road, but it was you could drive on it. We got down to a point, he says, this road makes a circle, a big circle. He says, if you'll park here, I'll walk the road. He said, I can't walk to them woods. But he said, you can cut through the woods, come out the other side. We should meet each other over there. And he says, I might run a deer up on you. You may run one up on me. So that was a plan. So we take off. Now I'm up to the woods. I'm a high school senior. I'm pretty well athletic. I can travel through the woods. You know, I've traveled in the woods all my life, through briars, over logs, under logs, whatever the case was. And I'm going. And then I crossed actually a couple of little swampy, creeky type things. And it was wintertime. I wasn't worried about snakes then. And I come to this hill. But I'm back in the woods probably at least a mile from any trail. There wasn't even no trails in the woods. I'm back in there at least a mile. And there's this old hill, and it's all brushy around it, and briars and stuff, swampy looking stuff at the bottom of the hill. So I just go over the hill and avoid all this old wet ground, this old marsh. So I go up this hill, and there's briars everywhere. You got to just almost literally claw your way through them. I'm glad I was wearing a jacket. My arms have been eaten up with briars. But anyway, I make it to the top, and there's a big old tree, and this old mossy tree right in the center. And it wasn't really a clearing. It was just stuff that growed up almost to it. Maybe right underneath the tree itself, it wasn't much underbrush. And I come out in under that tree. I had hair, stood up on the back of my neck, top of my head. If I'd had whiskers, it'd have been standing up there too. It stood up everywhere I had hair, it stood up. I was scared to death. Right there underneath that tree was a rocking chair. A rocking chair. In my mind, this tree was pretty big around. In my mind, I could see probably somebody standing, something, maybe not somebody, but something who had been sitting in that chair. That chair looked like it was still rocking. It looked like it. Maybe it wasn't. You know, your mind plays tricks on you. And I'm thinking, whatever it was, probably standing behind a tree. And then I look up, and that old mossy tree, I say, oh, it may be up that tree fixing to pounce down on top of me. As Levi says, tear your head off. I'm scared. If somebody jumped out and hollered boo, I'd have shot them. They'd have been shot. And that would have been my defense. They should have hollered boo. They should have hollered boo, but I'm scared. Anyway, I don't know if I even run over a deer on the way out of the woods. I was gone. I set a course and I was gone. It didn't matter if there was a swamp, logs, trees, rivers, or what. I was gone. And I made it out to the road a long time before my grandpa made it there. He said, oh, I didn't know you'd get here so soon. Yes, sir. Yeah, I didn't waste no time. I told him about it. He couldn't figure it out either. To this day, he can't figure out what that rocking chair was doing up there. It couldn't be a deer stand, but you couldn't see out. Who would pack a rocking chair a mile up through thickets to sit underneath a tree when there's trees everywhere? I never figured it out. Another time, so I've been scared other times too. I was in the service, there was times you get a little bit scared. Another time, and I told y'all about this before. Some of you already know about the Bigfoot story about him chasing Cuz and I. And Cuz will swear to this stuff too, and I will too. I'm serious. And grown men to be afraid of something like that, you think, well, it's not real. It's not real. Well, there's something real back there. We'd found fur or hair up on a limb, broke limb, 8 foot in the air by a trail where something come down a trail and then it snagged a big old wad of hair. It scared us to death. But that particular day, we were going to camp and fish. And we set trot lines. You folks don't know what a trot line is. It's where you tie on one bank, your main string, and come across to another bank on the other opposite side of the river, because our river's not that big. And about every 3 foot, you hang other strings off with hooks and bait them all the way across the river. So any kind of fish coming by, at least he's exposed to your bait, your hooks. It's called trot lines. We'd set one right there where we were going to camp on this sandbar. And had our tent, our camp, not our tent, but our camp all set up. We'd go sleep underneath the stars, you know, and stuff. Had our trucks up on the bank up out of the way. And all that day, it was pole fishing too that day, you know, your old cane poles with the cork and stuff. Catching some bait, plus we was catching some fish we could eat around at the fire. We could hear limbs breaking up there in those woods, deep woods, deep woods. We're talking several thousand acres and nothing but deep woods across that river. Don't leave the table alone. I'm serious. I am so serious about you people. Y'all have got to stop this stuff. At some point, we said, he says, you think there's any cows over there? 'Cause that's what it sounded like, you know, a limb break here and a limb break over there. And I said, there ain't no cattle over in that big pasture over there. That's a big hunting lease, you know, big. They don't allow nothing in there except for wild animals to hunt. And he said, let's go over. So we paddled our old boat over there, went up on the bank, and then all of a sudden the limbs breaking stopped. The birds was making no sounds. It was just silence. I'm talking about silence. And there was no cow poop nowhere, no tracks. You know, we all know about tracking around here. No tracks, no sign of nothing. We walked around a little bit and we got back down in the boat, paddled back across. And we had no more got back to our camp on the other side of the river. It started that stuff again, making that noise. Breaking limbs here, breaking limb over there, and tapping on stuff. Now, it could have been somebody playing tricks on us, I don't know. But it's very secluded over there. That night, we get ready to go to bait our hooks one more time before we turn in for the night, sleep. And that fog had come up on that river. You know, you couldn't see 10 foot ahead of you. And we're paddling across, one's paddling, one pulling the lines across the boat and rebaiting. We'd lost our bait. And all of a sudden, you hear it come through the air. And something hit the water beside our boat. Huge. The boat did this, splashed water all over both of us. It wasn't something from the water because it was something come through the air to the water, and the bank over there was at least 40 feet away. I'm gonna tell you, 2 grown men, you would have thought that was a speedboat. We come up, we're still paddling when we was up on the sandbar. Trying to get going, we could leave it. We jumped out of that boat, we never talked to each other. We went, him to his truck, me to mine. We jumped in our trucks and we were gone. That was Bigfoot. And we still believe that. But anyway, that's scary. We're back the next day, our camp was fine, but there was no more of those signs. And then later on, see, I'd watch this video, and this is later though, where about Bigfoot would hit on trees and stuff, break limbs. All right. The next time, and this is very unexplained. This is an unexplained thing here. I'm a grown man with a family. I'm hunting back in these deep woods over here, across the river. And I'm coming up through there. There's no faint cow trail. If you know what a cow trail is, it's where cows have been. There's another pasture down below, and they had cattle in there at one time. There's no trail for cattle. Cows walk when they go from point A to point B in a single file. A single file. Not out like when they're grazing, but when they go on point A to point B. And they'll disturb the grass or whatever's growing there, and it'll make a trail. Literally a trail, like a game trail. And I'm following this trail, and all of a sudden, now it's in the fall, and I'm squirrel hunting. All of a sudden, it's cold grip, cold air. I'm serious, cold air. Like all of a sudden, you need a coat, and where'd that come from? And it's not leaving. It's just cold, a cold spot. And I look around. There's just nothing different. Trail winding down through those woods. But to the side of me was this huge cypress tree, huge. Top had broke out years ago, and it was a hollow tree. But everything seemed cold around it. Well, I leave. I'm gone. Probably a year or two, maybe longer later, I'm trapping back in those same woods. And I'm coming down through the woods, and all of a sudden I come to this area where it's just cold. Cold. And it's so cold, it changes, and I stop dead in my tracks. And I look around, and sure enough, there's that big tree. Off the other side of it this time, because I'm coming a different direction. Not really realizing where I was at, and there it was. Something made it cold around that area right there. You could walk another 30 foot away from there, everything's normal again. You could walk back into it, it got cold. That's scary. I didn't trap her no more. Or hunt. Guys, that's the unexplained. And that's Pawpaw's unexplained story. I hope you enjoy it. It's all true stuff. These guys finally stopped bothering me. And we're going to get on back to the house and see what we can get into up there. I love you guys. Zip. Listen to me. I'm serious. When I come back here, I don't need all this stuff. When I'm trying to tell a story, you guys, y'all not trying to listen. Y'all trying to interfere with stories. Y'all don't want Pawpaw to tell stories. No, we don't tell no stories back here, Pawpaw. You scare us. We get scared. What do you think, little girl? What do you think? They being good to you? Are they being good to you? I know. They better be good to you. They better be good to you. Yes, ma'am. They better be, or you'll tell Pawpaw. You'll tell your Pawpaw. Now, we ain't going to start that button just like your friend Miracle. No. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do all that kind of crazy stuff, okay? Don't be a crazy girl. Be good. Be like this guy. And that one interferes with story time. Yeah, y'all do. You do. You do, baby. I love y'all, though, okay? I do love you. I do. Let's go, Hattie. Let's go, Kip. Let's go, little man. Kip, he had to go to the vet today. He gets a monthly flea pill and worm pill or whatever, all that stuff combined. I love you guys, okay? I love y'all. Let's go, Hattie. Come on. Anyway, he just got back. Hattie, stop, baby. Don't mess with him. Hattie wants to chase somebody. Anybody at a run, she's going to chase him. All right, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed those stories. We got to get on back to the house. I have it here. Here, baby. You like your cookies, don't you? You don't like sharing your cookies, but he will. He loves cookies. I love you, big boy. You pop on the boy. Get you on cookie. All right, Miracle, I gotta go. People showing up. Company showing up here. I'm gonna go. I love you guys. Love every one of you. Gonna let her ride. The barn's right there. She can walk. I'm gonna drive slow. Come on, honey, let's go. She went that pond. I do not want the seat wet. I don't want to be wet. And she had to go in the pond, so I'm gonna drive slow for her. And right there's the barn. Come on, baby girl. You say, don't go in the pond, don't go in the pond. And in that pond she goes. She's a hard-headed little girl. I'm going in the pond, Pawpaw. I'm going in. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the story. I give everybody cookies. I fed everything earlier. Baby, goats, chickens, Ivy, Miracle, Moses, they've all eaten. Now they're getting cookies and treats. They should be happy for the rest of the day. All right, guys, I love you guys. Y'all take care. Hope you enjoy it.